Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train a Dragon podcast. I'm your host HC and with me are
Rush 2112.
And Wolf.
and also my phone. Stop texting me, people. I'm recording. Anyway,
Unprofessional. Should have already
so,
had it quieted.
Rush does this
well,
well.
I'm way too busy now.
Thanks to reminding him, Rush does this as well.
Anyway, speaking of unprofessionalism, a week late, but we were so into doing last week's episode that we kind of decided to delay this one. The new cover art and also a plot description for the next How to Train a Dragon novel, Dragonvine, has come out. It's on the internet, and we're going to talk about it. What we know about it anyway. So, guys, do you have the cover art right in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start talking about this. I think first thing we should probably mention, otherwise people will probably want to kill us, is Astrid has a flaming axe.
Yes. That is actually I honestly did not notice that until you put it in the Tumblr.
Oh, really?
Probably I can't remember why I didn't notice it or when I first saw this. When did we do this? I have it we did this on that's a great question. I can't remember when. Or when you post or you replied to it. But I think I was just looking at Toothless and Hiccup. Maybe it was during work, so I kind of didn't notice it.
But anyway, she has a flaming axe, and one thing I'm kind of wondering from this, do you think like it works the same way as Inferno, where like she maybe covered her axe with Monster's Nightmare's saliva, and like it works the same way?
I don't.
Yeah, you go first, Wolf.
I don't think it's a permanent thing. I think it's just a thing they did for this, probably to deal with the quote-unquote Dragonvine, which is what the
Yeah,
comic or novel is about.
yeah. If you look at the axe closely, it doesn't look like it's any different. It could honestly, it could just be they put stuff on it so they could get through the Dragonvine, like lit up. So like Hiccup, gave her some poured Monstrous Nightmare gel on her axe, lit it on fire, and that's how they're getting through the Dragonvine. There's no
Yeah,
extra creation.
I have a theory about that, but we'll save it for later because it connects to a further point. But another thing I want to mention about this is that even though that cover art is awesome, something about Hiccup's face rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why.
The shading.
He's
I don't know. I'm just staring at it right now.
he's frowning, and Hiccup never frowns. That's the issue.
It's not
I like
necessarily the
Astrid's face.
frown.
The warrior screen. That's awesome.
Yeah. When you go to hell, Astrid with a flaming axe is there to
Yeah.
greet you.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like the one thing I think. Maybe it's the lighting. Maybe I don't know. Something about it seems off. But the one other thing I want to mention about the cover is that comparing it to the Serpent Cell, this one is actually drawn from the ground up. Serpent Cell, for all intents and purposes, was pretty much a Photoshop project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. One thing that I would like to note before I forget forever the second time is along after seeing Inferno, I actually had an idea for how to make an Astrid, like a hidden axe for Astrid, kind of an extendable one. And then after seeing Wonder Woman, what was it? Was it last week? Maybe 2 weeks ago. Either way,
You saw Wonder Woman.
yeah,
It's the point.
it's great. Well, I was just uh, it could be hidden down the back of her shirt, just like Wonder Woman puts her sword down there. Except for since it's extendable, it can be hidden
Yeah,
a lot easier.
so you're implying that the blades of Astrid's axe is
Are
actually
hid.
in her ass.
No,
You've seen
because
that
it's
post about
hidden.
Wonder Woman that she hides the sword. It's like
It's
where the
not a
sword
long
is.
sword. It's not that long. All right. Let's just move along to what I was getting about. Because my idea for the extendable axe is it's hidden inside God, what do you call that? It's not hidden inside the blade because that is the blade. So the blades are hidden inside like the main stock, and then it pops out. Yeah, that inside the head, and it pops out. And I mean, it's like a frame of an axe, but it's made from Gronkle iron, so it's really sturdy. I'd have to draw it up in a horrible drawing.
I hope she doesn't flame it, like swing it too close to Toothless's tail. Otherwise, that prosthetic fin is gone.
Yep.
Way to go, General Hoff. Anyway, yeah.
Talking about the Dragonvine, we should bring up the fact that it seems like this is either an expansion on or continuation of Burning Midnight.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that, but before alongside the small plot description, it says that the release date is February 6, 2018.
Yikes, yep.
And the interesting thing about that is that for all intents and purposes, that's a year after Serpent Cell. So if they do a trilogy of these things, and the third one is coming on February 2019, then it's like the perfect preparation for How to Train Dragon 3, which is essentially what this entire thing is supposed to do.
Unless they move the third movie's release date again.
Shut up.
God forbid. For the first time in the history of this podcast, I agree with Rush.
If it wasn't the first time, or if it was the first time, I wouldn't have won last week. Let's just remind the viewers of that.
You say you won, but I think I won considering the rant I got you to go on.
But that was what did I go on a rant about?
Saying it's all an act.
Oh yeah, that.
I say I won that.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
Whatever,
Yeah.
I was the judge. But anyway, back to the release dating. So hopefully, I want to believe that they planned it like this. That make a trilogy, set it up, and then let How to Train Your Dragon 3 to come out and everything. But if it's not a trilogy and it will continue going on after How to Train Dragon 3 is out and about, it would kind of ruin this for me, because How to Train Dragon 3 is supposed to be this big epic finale, and stuff.
That's for a completely different talk, though. We're talking about Dragonvine right now.
Yeah, still, I just wanted to bring it up.
But release date, yes. It seems really late. Honestly, as an artist myself, with no drawing capabilities, I don't know how long it would take. I wish it'd obviously be sometime later this year. Although it's only 2 months into next year, if even. It's the 8th of February, so it's barely a month after the new year starts. I'd have to ask somebody who actually professionally draws to see if they could get a 80-page comic. I'm not guessing the number of pages yet, but it seems like I'm assuming it would probably be the same length, just for consistency purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But an 80-page comic, how long can that take to write? Well, a year. So there you go.
We also have to think of publication rights and many other things too.
Let's also not forget, Serpent Cell was announced in 2015 and it didn't come out until 2017. So go figure.
Though to be fair, I think that also might have had something to do with the fact that the movie was delayed again during that time as well.
Yeah, so they wanted to.
That might have had something to do with that. That's probably why they delayed it for so long. The Serpent's here, anyways.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, there are probably a lot of thought put into when to release when and how work schedule is with these things, because I know nowadays comic books seem to come out when they have something to tie in with. Like for example, Marvel will release a new Guardians of the Galaxy series in order to be on time with the new movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's kind of weird.
And
Just real quick.
And when you think about it, Serpent Cell came out not too long after Race to the Edge season 4, so maybe they have a plan.
Race
or
to the
something.
Edge
I don't know.
season 6.
Who knows when will season 5 come out? We're still waiting.
Oh,
for,
come on! If they take a year to do season 5, I think they'll lose the whole franchise.
Supposedly, season 5 should be announced either in between June and July or late August.
Announced for that time, or announced during that time?
Announced for that time. That's when, supposedly...
Well, June's almost over.
Yeah, I know. It's we should be getting something about season 5 soonish. If it's in June. If it's going to be more closer to August, then that's when we'll be getting something.
Have you been following Tart's predictions?
And plus, it just makes sense timeline-wise for how they've done everything else.
Yeah. Just quick prediction. I think it'll be third week of August. Second week. Second week.
I'm betting on July, late July.
Fine. First week of August. Anyway, but real quick, so I have the Serpent's Heir with me, and just looking at the cover art for the Serpent's Heir is actually mostly the animated Toothless Hiccup and Astrid, not drawn. That's probably another thing that irks
I said, it's
like
a Photoshop.
Yeah. So. Anyway.
But speaking of Serpent's Heir, do you think it's going to relate to that one in any way, or is it going to be a standalone sequel? I think it will probably be a standalone with minor references.
Exactly the same thing that I'm thinking. Yeah, it's going to have references. I don't know if there'd be really anything to bring, other than it's these aren't your standard Forever Wings. Ha ha ha, what a reference, right? There's not going to be another Forever Wing under the Dragonvine Island or something like that.
If there is.
And I don't think so. We won't see.
There's another 6 Forever Wings up underneath this island too, guys. Holy crap!
What does it mean?
Yeah, but on that note, we kind of brought up Burning Midnight. I think there's a lot of connections with that one. For starters, in Burning Midnight, Toothless is the only dragon we see. So it makes sense Astrid is riding Toothless alongside Hiccup, if the cover is canon anyway.
Well, yeah. Also in Burning Midnight.
Can you call the cover art canon? I'm not sure. Anyway,
there's
probably... Usually cover art is, sometimes anyways, cover art is one of the images from the comic itself, so yeah, technically canon. It's not always the case, but sometimes.
Yeah, but another thing, I went over Burning Midnight the other day in order to make sure I remember this correctly, and at the end of it, Hiccup actually put some Monsters Nightmare saliva on the other's weapons.
Yeah, that's
so
why.
That might explain Astrid's flaming axe.
That's why I said what I said earlier. And the reason why I think it's connected. And plus, you see vines covering up the cave that the riders are in, and you see the dragons that...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All the scenery, all the thing.
I'm so sad because, I predicted it was a half prediction kind of to save my butt for when the Serpent's Heir was coming out. I said we were doing the predictions. I said, if Burning Midnight's in there, but it may not be. And then this one, it's almost 90% sure it's gonna be in there based off the scenery and the stories surrounding it, right?
Yeah, and what the sad part is? The sad part is that I remember after seeing this cover art, I remembered an interview with Richard Hamilton about this, and he actually mentioned that Burning Midnight has more connections with Dragonvine than the Serpent's Heir. So how the hell did we miss that one?
I blame you.
Yeah. It's always you, it's never us.
I blame myself as well. Damn it, my low self-esteem. But Yeah, so we pretty much agreed that not that much of a connection to Serpent Cell. I don't think they really planned for Serpent Cell to tie into this in any way, but yeah, maybe the one exception, Hiccup being chief and him getting along with the role. I guess that will probably continue. Maybe him being more confident, or Berk being more comfortable with the idea of change that they talk about.
I would expect to see more like chief issues, him adapting to the role, and Burke adapting to him being chief. If we didn't, I think it would feel a little bit weird considering. I'm curious to see if this will be a time jump or not, and like how far forward this will be as well. And I'm willing to bet, like at the beginning of the novel, we'll see Burke again, and we'll see Burke maybe have changed a bit. Maybe they've gotten rid of all the ice at this point. Maybe the dragon antler, horn,
Because
tusk.
we kind
There's the
of
word.
we kind of agreed that
still there or
Serpent
something.
Cell, Serpent Cell is like it's right after the battle with the Bewilder Beast, but it's before the Dragon Race at the end of How to Train Dragon 2, because we see at the end of Serpent Cell that Hiccup has the plans for Stoic statue and everything.
Yeah, so timeline wise, I agree with Wolf how like all the ice will be cleared out. I don't know if that Burke would be changed yet. It feels like if they're gonna keep doing stuff off the island though, that they're gonna like Hiccup, they're avoiding his chiefly duties, right? It's gonna be interesting to see how they get to this island. So many predictions that could be, a reconnaissance mission, they don't come back, so they go find him. But the issue is, if it's a reconnaissance, how do they find it, or how would they have not found it before, right? Or maybe it's just something that's going on, right?
I'll say that it's probably the same way Serpent's Air was found. Random dude comes to visit them. Hey, my island's in trouble. Stoic would help me out. Be a bro. Be like Stoic. Help me out again. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's possible, and so but it's
either that or the new dragon we're looking at. The Silk Spanners maybe come to Burke and they have to deal with them, and in dealing with them, they find out about this island covered in Dragonvine, and that may have been
something in the plot description that says Hiccup, Toothless, and the rest of the Dragon Riders encounter two deadly yet mysteriously linked threats. So, encounter, it could be someone asks them to be there again, or it could just be.
It could be.
They went out on a.
You know what I think? Okay, so based off the yet mysteriously linked threats, it seems like the Silk Spinners belong to wherever the Dragonvine Island is. However, the Dragonvine is invading their island, so they come to Berk, and so they have to deal with the ones on Berk, and they find out why they're coming to Berk, and hence the Dragonvine.
That'd be my guess too.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Yeah, but one thing I do want to mention, if this is connected more to Burning Midnight than Serpent Cell, then there is something about in Serpent Cell, Hiccup kind of tries to understand what Stoic will do in certain situations and act based on that. And in Burning Midnight, we actually see that while everyone remembers Stoic by the fireplace, Hiccup does tell them, Dad used to do that a lot. He called it Burning Midnight, and that kind of gives them the motivation to, to keep going and
to charge out.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So it kind of plays to what I said. Is trying again to step into this role and accept it and everything. Yeah. But on that note, now that we actually got to the plot stuff, what do you think the Dragonvine actually is? For some reason, I have this thought that it might be
a vine.
You remember the dragon root from Defenders of Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's connected to that somehow. I don't even know why.
You know what could also be connected to? Blue oleander.
I think it's connected to neither. I think the
I know,
dragons just have
it's
an
not.
issue
I
with
was just
plant
kidding.
life. Whether you're being serious or not, I think the dragons just have an issue with plant life. The dragon root negatively affects them. Blue oleander negatively affects them. Dragonvine negatively affects them.
Dragon. Yeah.
I think
Point is, there is no vegetarian dragon.
But
Gotcha.
here's the thing. Here's the
you
thing.
can't say that. The Buffalord exists. That's a
Yes.
vegetarian dragon.
Here's the thing.
Okay, the one.
It says that the Dragonvine in the description below the cover art that it is both dangerous to or deadly to humans and dragons. So it's both. Maybe it's because it's poisonous to dragons, but then maybe it's alive and it tries to attack humans because it has those spiky things on it.
There's also
Wisdom from Rush.
it's also described as an uncontrollable force of nature. So is that like something that grows at specific points in the world, or is it something that spreads and eventually reached Berk, and maybe that's the reason why they leave?
I'll say this, right? I think there's one connection they might or could try to make between the Dragonvine and Serpent's Heir. That being, the Dragonvine is caused by the Forever Wing again. That we saw all the Forever Wings wake up and go off their separate ways. So maybe one of the Forever Wings touched upon this island, and somehow that has something to do with the Dragonvine, and that's connected to the Forever Wing again.
That'd be interesting.
And that's kind of their kind of connecting plot point throughout. The Forever Wings causing trouble. Like
that's something I wanted to point out when we talk about its connection to Serpent's Heir. For some reason, I think that there needs to be a bit of a connection because it's the same medium, so might as well if you can. If you can, like, it only makes sense in my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not making any sense probably.
Did you say same median? Same medium, I believe.
I have no
And
idea
everyone's
what you just said.
Yes.
Based on what I said.
Anyway, you said it that maybe they should be connected. Let me see if I can simplify this. You said that the two stories should be connected because they're through the same medium, i.e. they're both comic books, right?
Probably, yeah.
That's probably what you said. Okay, well then, if I can't get a confirmation, let's move on.
Man, I'm so tired if it's not obvious. But yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, since that's our prediction on the Dragonvine. Well, what do you guys think the new dragon will be? Now it says they're multiple silk spinners, and if it is connected to Burning Midnight, I believe we saw them a little bit, and they are tiny dragons. However, there's always that possibility they want to go bigger and better, so even larger than the Bill Wildebeest, larger than the Forever Wing. Wait, did we ever find out if the Forever Wing was larger than the Bill Wildebeest?
It's at least similar size, if that.
Fair enough. So, you think that maybe, or could they do a Night Terror thing and all make it look like they're a giant dragon?
Something interesting is that all the dragons in this franchise are like based on some sort of animal. Like Toothless is a combination of a dog and a cat, and Skullcrusher is kind of like a rhino, I think. Cloudjumper is obviously an owl and somewhat a bat, and all this. So the Slick Spanners, from the name and the description of web spinning. So it's like a dragon spider, which is pretty cool.
Basically.
In the idea.
Let's also, looking at Burning Midnight, the silk spanner, if those are the silk spanners, the ones we see in the image for Burning Midnight, none of them have
in the
wings.
final panel when they burst out of the cave.
Yeah. None of them have wings.
Let's go and see if I can find it.
It's not the first time we saw a wingless dragon in this franchise.
But that kind of does hurt the idea that the silk spanners would make it to Berk, though, and thinking about that now. But I would say it's a cross between a lizard and a spider, to some degree, looking at how they look.
You're right.
I still want to see ones I can do with web spinning. I mean,
Hey, I mean, they the
I'm going to
Speed
say this
Singers
right now,
found a way.
and you're probably predicting I'm going to say
oh
this,
my
but
God.
if
Sorry, go on. I'll say something in a second.
so, you guys probably know where I'm going with this, but if they go Spider-Man with those dragons, I'm buying 2 copies of this shit because that will be awesome
All
in
right.
terms of the web.
Yes, that would be funny, but then they'd have to find out something to grab on. Look at the link that I just sent
What are you
you.
talking about? What are you talking
Look at the
about?
link I just
They
sent
can
you.
grab onto
Can
the
we figure
sky.
out,
And
hey, maybe this is where they set all their stuff on fire? They literally do this in Burning Midnight on the
Yeah.
9th page. So,
Yeah.
we all forgot about
HC,
this.
HC brought that up
Right.
earlier.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talk about
I
me not
did.
paying attention. I think I was reading Serpent's Air at that time. I don't know. I got it out and I was reading it. But, so yeah, there we go. He, puts it on them, and there we go. So, there's now a
By the way,
99% chance.
looking at the page though, I do love that the sound effect for Tutas's Plasma Blast is officially Scroom.
Yeah. But,
It
so
never sounded like that, but it's
99%
something.
It'll be-
sure.
It'll be
That,
different each time.
Yeah, it is, because, Serpent's Air, golly, now I gotta get it back out again. It's just in a drawer right next to me. But, let's see if I can find out something.
If it's not different each time, I'll be disappointed.
Very.
Have to
Does
say though,
Tutas
it's fun to
actually
say
even shoot
Scroom. Scroom.
What's more scream, but
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Screw you.
Scream. It's like, Wait, hold on.
So essentially, every time Tutas fires
wait.
a Plasma
Here we
Blast,
go.
he says "Screw you."
Oh, wait, no, sorry. It always starts off as Crackoom. That's
yep, that's a
that's
different one.
the Serpent's Air.
Man, we
Well,
need
it
to do an
starts off with
episode
"Screw
about
you."
sound effects.
So, anyway. But, yeah, so now there's a 99.99% chance that Burning Midnight is part of Dragonvine. Which means they have
Yeah.
10 less pages of work to do. I demand an earlier due date.
Yeah, so you were right with your prediction in the Serpent Cell predictions episode, but you were kind of like the writers of Back to the Future 2. You undershot by 1 year.
Yeah. I'll give it a half victory, so I'm 0.5, well, plus whatever else I've gotten right for like about 70 predictions, I'm pretty sure. Although, granted, of those 70, about 50 of them are still up in the air. I don't know. Nobody's created a rush count tracker, and I haven't really kept track.
Yeah.
Someone will do it.
Anyway, so we
We'll
talked
just
about
say,
the...
benefit of the doubt, we'll say 100% right for Rush.
Woo.
Until otherwise proven wrong.
Well, I've
Yeah.
been proven wrong.
Who
so-
knows?
but-
Maybe Dragonvine will be 90 pages instead of 80.
And maybe they'll just, maybe it's just a prank, and Burning Midnight isn't in there at all.
Yeah, it was all a very elaborated April Fool's joke. Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
they could be different things, technically.
What if Cool and Creative, the poster of this, just made this cover page based off of the Burning Midnight, and this is actually just a lie. This isn't the next comic at all.
Again, hands.
Well, Richard
clap
Hamilton
of hands to
did
that
say...
Who is this person?
Richard Hamilton...
If it's all an elaborate troll, then I bow to this person and their talent at seeing this through.
Yeah, right.
Although to be honest, I think Richard Hamilton did say that the name of this is going to be Dragonvine, so... And the art on the cover art is similar to how to the art in the comics themselves. So I think there's any reason to believe
God,
that's
this person
real, but at
reblogs
the
so
same
many
time,
stuff. I'm trying to go through the person's blog to figure out what's going on here, but
going on well.
there's just so much crap in the way in between it.
I love how this is what you're doing on the show right now.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if somebody said, haha, it's just a prank, It's like right after they posted it, the thing that nobody reblogged was them saying, JK, this is what it's supposed to, this is just a fake. Alright, I'm gonna give it 2 more pages.
Okay, so until Rush does that, Wolf, anything else to say about Dragonvine? What do you think will happen in this one?
What do I think will happen? Hijinks, yeah, hijinks. More hijinks.
Hijinks, yeah. They will fly on dragons. I
Yes,
assume.
absolutely. The Forever Wing may or may not be there, but you can always say the Forever Wing
that's
is
actually
there,
a question
just up underneath.
wanted to. I did want to ask this about the silk spanners. Do things will be like
Jesus.
Titan Wing, or
No,
or
I mean,
like they'll be huge or normal
No,
sized?
I think-
They're going to be
I
small.
think they'll be
We already went over that.
they'll be the size of a
Yeah.
common house dog or like a
Night
dog.
Terror. I think they're going to be the size of the Night Terrors. Maybe
Yeah,
a little bit
there you
bigger.
go. Maybe a bit bigger than Night Terrors. Yeah, just possibly not able to fly.
Legit.
Again, if there's any giant dragon involved, I think it'll come from the Forever Wing and them kind of just carrying that through each comic.
Or maybe actually, something I thought about right now. They say that the graphic novels part is to bridge between the gap between How to Train Dragon 2 to 3. So,
Yeah.
how much do you think these things are going to affect 3,
Not at
like
all.
the movie?
Not at all.
Other than Hiccup learning to become chief and the village learning to accept that change and them dealing with those issues.
And don't
So,
forget
yeah,
General
we had-
Hoff,
And General Hoff.
unless you want hate mail.
Yeah, so like General Hoff's definitely an inclusion that you will see in the third movie. If I don't, I will be disappointed. General Hoff has to be in the third movie now. Has to.
And
Yes.
and she has to say it's a trap. We went over
Absolutely.
this.
But here's the other thing that, if you remember, we talked about on if they were to go into the first or the third movie and he'd be completely adjusted without these comics, then you'd say like, well, okay, could we see the issues he had? But then if you say we didn't have these comics and they did show the issues as Chief he had, then it probably would take up too much runtime. So
Again, when it comes to movies, nothing else matters. It's only what you show in the movies. That's generally the best way to go about it, because you have to,
yeah,
if you're a viewer and you're going into a movie and the movie says, all right, you should have read these things before you came into the movie, then that's a poor movie. You're doing
but here's
it wrong.
here's the other thing as well. This will be for people who are casually following the movie, they probably won't care. But for people like us, if we saw he was completely adjusted, we would want to know what happened, right? But for your standard
So
movie
we ha-
viewer, I agree. For your standard movie viewer, they don't need to be told something. They're going to come in and say, okay, I guess he's learned how to be chief. Who cares, right?
Not necessarily that. I think, I even though I don't
I
necessarily
agree
think they
with
should, I think the third movie will have some kind of chiefing issues still yet.
Yeah,
I
it'll
think
be
that's
clashing
what
with
they'll do.
Toothless, though. It'll be
Well,
completely different to getting
there's
adjusted.
probably also going to be that entire thing with the dragons and Toothless.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
being
there'll be
the
that, but
alpha
I think there'll
stuff.
just be in general. I think there'll still be chiefing issues that he'll have to deal
I don't
with.
think
that
they'll have any adjustment issues.
I
There'll
think
be
they might.
regular chiefing issues, but there won't be like, I don't know how to do this crap. Like I don't.
I
Unless,
think they will. I would bet they will, just because again, most of your normal moviegoers aren't going to read any outside information, stuff like that.
You
That's
know
something
what?
that
I
then they're
have an
just going to
idea.
completely throw away the 2 comics they did. Like,
Oh, yeah,
they would just
I
toss
agree,
them away
but-
as. So why make them at all? It's just okay, right? Money, I get it, but
But also,
Hey,
like,
it seems like
have
Dean
we
Here's the
really?
thing. I have an guys. I have an idea. So the graphic novels will probably see. We are seeing Hiccup getting used to the overall role of chief, so that when 3 starts, he's already accustomed to the idea of himself being the chief of Berk. But what happened? It's pretty safe to assume that in How to Train Dragon 3, the conflict is going to be way bigger than these graphic novels will ever be. I think it's a safe assumption. Maybe not necessarily a war, but if the dragons are leaving, then the why, the how,
Panic the Third, Civil War.
yeah, maybe.
Uh,
But maybe if it will be something big like this, because we know Drago's coming back for a fact. It's been confirmed. So if Drago comes back with an army and there's going to be a war and maybe even a conflict with the dragons, that's the point where Hiccup was just got used to being the chief and handle like the everyday life of a chief. But what does he do when war is on the horizon?
That's interesting. One thing that I realized while you were talking about that is that if this is again it will be. It's an off-island thing, so you may be right, Wolf, how he has some adjusting his chief, but since most of these graphic novels are off the island, it is actually possible he could, in the third movie, have more adjusting moments. Which is what I will probably say to those people who are like, we saw him adjusting his chief in the graphic novels, why did he do that?
Keep in mind, the first novel is very much still about kind of running away from the issue a little bit. Like, even if I'm not mistaken, like we talked about. Yeah, and he does, you're right. And, like, even the name of the island they go to is, if I'm not mistaken, has something to do with, like, forgetting the past or forgetting
it's
something.
Greek for,
I think we
it was
talked
Greek
about
for
it.
something.
We're opening again, let's
something.
find out. It's Nepthia or something like that.
So Wolf just left a weight, apparently.
Wolf just had a heart attack.
Reached for the book, and something fell, as usual.
Nepenthe.
Nepethine, that's it, Nepethine.
Not Nepethine, it's
I call it Nepethine.
It's Nepenthe. It's an antidepressant, Greek. A drug of forgetfulness, that's what it's Greek for.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Which probably explains why everyone on this island is so freaking high, but yeah.
But I mean...
Did I make that joke in the review episode? I think I did.
Yes, you did.
We're repeating ourselves, guys. We need to...
Wait, we? You're a one-trick pony.
Well, considering I'm the host of this, if I screw up, you screw up with me. It's a chain effect.
No, if it's not... If you screw up, I screw up with you. It's if you screw up, I take the shit on Twitter and Tumblr. That's the right
Really?
joke, right? No, we actually haven't gone. But we all know who the favorite cast member is. It's Wolf.
Me. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll admit it.
I'm a catch. I'm wonderful. I'm
he
amazing.
hasn't gone on a rant. He hasn't gone on a rant yet.
I thought it was Voyager, but okay.
Well, ever since she fired me,
close.
she got moved down a few pegs.
Well, anyway,
I never fired you.
I said if Voyager.
Back to the comic, because before this gets weird. One thing I noticed now looking at the cover, Toothless's eyes are yellow.
That's probably just a reflection of fire.
Nah, I'm going with the way they fucked up. I like the explanation better. It's funny.
On my monitor, they look a little bit more lime greenish, so I think it's just...
Maybe
Let's open them again. God. Yeah, that's a greenish look to me.
Well, again, maybe it's my...
I bet
maybe
you
it's my
anything,
screen.
they drew it normally and then added that, like, the fire hue to it, which is what makes
Yeah,
it.
that's usually how drawing works. You color everything first and then you add the lighting.
I know. Well, I know how computer-generated graphics works. I don't know how drawing works. But, anyway. I actually know how computer-generated
Do we
graphics...
have anything
colors
else we want to add on this? Because I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, we did. And then some, but we're pretty good for that.
I guess the next time we'll talk about Dragonvine will be whenever they'll release a sneak peek of it, or
when
it
comes
will
out.
come out in
A year. 8 months.
not
Wait, right?
yeah no not even 8 months
Yeah, no, it'll be 8
I
months.
think 8 months actually. What am I saying?
7.
don't-
7, since it's the beginning of February. I'd give it 7, just for that. But
I don't math well at all, and especially now, because school pretty much killed me. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anything you guys want to add before we close this topic?
nope.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so that's been all for this episode of the Berkcast. We hope you enjoyed. If there's anything you want to tell us about Dragonvine, share your especially if the cover art is fake, because
Yeah, if it's just a
otherwise we
prank.
just made made complete idiots of ourselves for about 40 minutes, which is
shorter than we
embarrassing,
usually
but-
do, strangely. But we usually
There's
make
not a
ourselves idiots
lot
for
to
an
talk
hour.
about here.
Well, I'm saying
There's
we
not a
usually
lot
make
to talk about
ourselves an idiot for an hour.
Whatever. Anyway, if there's anything you want to share with us about Dragonvine, then share your thoughts and stuff on either the comment section on the YouTube page or on Twitter, where we're Berkcast is capital B, capital C on
I
Twitter.
love that.
On Tumblr we are Berkcast Team, and we're all on the Berkcast forums. So until next time, I was HC.
I was Rush.
I've been Wolf.
And we'll see you all next time, so take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.